and a 19, and I don't have the scale right in front of me, and so on and so forth. The test is what a lot of coaches, especially the Black Coaches Association, the ACT and SAT, that's what the Black Coaches Association has a real issue over. I think we're all for standards, and if they're going to raise the grade point averages, then so be it. I think students can, really work through their high school counselors and get some, and maybe get cracking with the books at an earlier age. I mean, what I'm saying, like in the 8th and 9th grade, a lot of times students only wait till they're going into their senior year. So we haven't really put the message out there, and we really haven't had time to digest the other proposal, which we're under now, is Prop 48, and now we're having to deal with Prop 16. But I think the surveys and the studies that have been done, that the SAT and the ACT are not being used as widely for a lot of colleges, but it has a definite impact on the Black student. The tests have not been really fair in assessing their abilities to do the work at the college level. And a lot of the coaches, especially the coaches in the BCA, would like to see the ACT and SAT not used as a criteria for admitting students to universities. And so that's one of the big concerns. Now, the National Association of Basketball Coaches is lobbying to those students who do not meet the Proposal 16, that they be, that if the different colleges will allow them to go to school, admit them, then if they make satisfactory progress toward a degree every year, then they can earn back their 4th year of eligibility. As it stands now, anybody that doesn't have a minimum of a 2.5 in the 13 core courses and the 700 on the SAT or the 17 on the ACT cannot compete in athletics. Now, if a university will admit them to school, if they can make satisfactory progress, then they could get the 4th year of their eligibility back. So in other words, if a person goes in right now and does not have those minimum standards, and they are admitted to school, they would only have 3 years of eligibility. But they would still have, some time to be in college, and it's a feeling of the coaches that then they have to be their senior year to graduate, and if the ultimate goal is to graduate our student athletes, then to have them not be eligible their senior year is going to take away that incentive. And I think it gives a proper amount of incentive that, okay, we'll let you in school because you didn't make these certain requirements, but if you prove that you can do the college work, that you can maintain a satisfactory progress, and then going into your senior year, you have a 2.0 grade point average or better in your major, and you're on track to graduate, then you should be giving back that extra year of eligibility that was denied to you on the front end. So in other words, if it's going to be denied on the front end, give our student athletes an incentive to work and do well in school, and then obviously grant them the ability to play that 4th year of eligibility.
Just to keep them there in school.
So in other words, I think the satisfactory progress that we already have in place is good. It's now gone the way of the dinosaur, so to speak, to have student athletes in school who are not making progress toward a degree. Tennessee State and along with the other schools that are in the NCAA have to monitor what we call satisfactory progress toward a degree. It's not just satisfactory progress toward staying eligible. It's now you have to be in a degree-seeking program, and it's not the old case of young men just taking courses to stay eligible. Now you have to be on track to graduate, and I think that's an excellent rule, because now you're saying to your student athletes, you are here to get an education, and we are monitoring this progress toward a degree, toward an education, not just toward taking selective courses to stay eligible to play basketball. And I think that's excellent. And I think that once, the initial eligibility may be a little bit too difficult at this particular time, and if we could ease up a little bit and give people an opportunity. There's so many people that have given the opportunity and they do well, then I think they ought to be allowed to compete. But to not give them that opportunity is where the real problem comes in, because once you start locking out and shutting out certain people in their quest to better themselves and get a college education, then I think you have problems. And it goes from a basketball issue to a social issue. And it's statistically, the Black Coaches Association can come back and say it's going to have more of an adverse effect on black student athletes, then I think that, you know, there's a lot of concern there. Our problem, or not our task, is to find a middle ground to where the NABC, the BCA, the NCAA can all come and work together and make something that's fair and equitable for all the student athletes.
Very good. And Coach, Coach, I think one of the most important things you've mentioned about degrees and life and what basketball can do for one. Let's look at some of your great successes in terms of one of your players, Mr. Carlos Rogers, over the last 3 or 4 minutes that we have here. Talk about Carlos Rogers and that fabulous contract that he has received from the Warriors. Let's talk about it from that perspective, and exactly what does that mean to you and to your program and whatnot?
Well, I think it's, number one, an outstanding accomplishment for Carlos Rogers. There's a young man that was given an opportunity, that worked extremely hard, that came from a difficult background, but persevered. And he did develop his basketball skills. When I first met Carlos 3 years ago, he was talented. That talent was very raw. But, you know, through our hard work collectively, myself, my assistant coaches, and Carlos's willingness to work, he developed the basketball skills necessary to become a first-round NBA draft choice. And I'm excited for him along those lines. He paid the price, so to speak, to be good, to be the best. And he did, quite recently, sign a $19.2 million contract with the Golden State Warriors over, I think, a 9-year period. And that's quite a large sum of money. But I think most importantly to Carlos is the fact that a lot of kids have a dream to play in the NBA. And most of them don't get an opportunity to realize that dream. But you know, he's been able to realize that dream. Obviously, financially, he's going to be secure. I think that the people that really know Carlos will understand that he's still the same Carlos, kind of happy-go-lucky, carefree person at times, a very sensitive young man, and a very caring young man. I don't think the money, as we speak today, will have an adverse effect on him. I think that he's a type that won't forget where he came from and the people that were close to him when he was struggling to get to this level. He said to me on many times that Tennessee State University provided him an opportunity, and he's most appreciative of that opportunity. You know, we still have a great relationship, and I want to always maintain that relationship with him, because there's a young man that really deserves the best. He's worked extremely hard to get himself in that position. It's one of those dreams that you dream as a young person that all of a sudden you realize those dreams, and it's got to make you feel good. But Carlos would be the first one to tell you that it was a lot of hard work on his part, but he knows that he had the help of many, many people, from parents to family members to people in this community, to our coaching staff, to administrators at Tennessee State that really worked with him and helped him. And through the grace of God, he's been able to make it to the NBA. And I certainly wish him well. And I never did have a favorite team in the NBA, but I'll say right now it's Golden State.
Very good, very good. And of course, Coach, we've got about a minute and a half here before we end today. And we certainly appreciate you coming by and giving us all of that information about preseason, as well as your program and some of your recruits. And evidently you've had a very, very good year in terms of recruiting, and we can expect to see some very, very exciting basketball at Tennessee State University. You've got about a minute. Let's give you an opportunity for whatever you would like to do with the last minute, 10 or 15 seconds we have.
Well, I'd really like for our fans that have been supporting us to continue to support us. I would like for some of the people who come to the games to, I really encourage you to buy season tickets, even though you may not be able to come to every game. You know, by having a season ticket, that ensures you, you know, your ticket in there, and you could always pass it on to somebody else. You know, if you have any questions about our basketball program or season tickets or whatever, you can dial at 963-5905. That's the to the basketball office, and we'll refer you to the proper people to have you sign up for season tickets.